So we're here now. A lot of these videos, it's just gonna be, a quick little montage, just playing through a lot of the dungeons, and just gonna kind of talk about where I'm at with things and how things were looking at the time of recording this and playing. But we're gonna first talk about the healing feel and pace. Definitely the way that Holy Paladin feels in normals is definitely what I remember back in Excalibur, and also I believe I had played on the Outlands realm on Stormforge. My account, I think, is no longer existing. I did play on this server though, not the realm, but I played on the server. My account's gone, I'm pretty sure, but I found this out because one of my officers in the Excalibur server in my guild, I found out just recently that he's in the server. He's playing in Stormforge. Now, my actual guild originally did not fully transition, not all of them, and they're not all active. But it was nice to know that, my old school, private server guild from Excalibur, still kind of exists here. It was nice to see that. But I didn't really get a lot of dungeon running in Excalibur because it was so easy to gear up in Excalibur, and there was just so many people that had gear. It was just very easy to get just basically to learn in raids. I think I did more dungeon runs when I played on other private servers where it was progression, season 4, tier 4. That was the only thing that was released. So, and I do remember it being, a little difficult. Heroic runs, if you're not properly geared as a Holy Paladin, can definitely feel rough. It gets better, with gear, but even then, I would say, depending on the tank and certain dungeons you're doing, Holy Paladins are gear dependent to efficiently and quickly do runs. Definitely, I was comfortable at the start of doing my runs because I already have experience. So this isn't I've never played Holy Paladin before. No, Holy Paladin used to be one of my main classes, Warrior and Paladin. So comfortability wise, it was already there because of previous experience, but I still felt a little nervous just because I knew that my gear isn't the greatest right now. It's bare minimum for heroics and normals, so I was nervous about that, but I wasn't worried about my competency as healing, so which is good. The difficulty with a lot of the dungeons, like I was already talking about, for a Holy Paladin seem pretty accurate. Just in general for TBC, nothing feels out of the ordinary for difficulty. My server PvE experience, I would say that it's definitely dominant in this server. The only reason why there's a lot of people playing PvP Arena is because I found out in Area 52 that there's no rating requirement for arena gear. The only arena requirement rating for gear is shoulders. Everything else, all you need is just to farm arena points. So if there is activity going on in the server for PvP, if it's not for honor or just doing it for fun, battlegrounds, people are really just doing it to get arena gear, whether they want to use some of that arena gear for PvE, or they just, they just want to, they have an only PvP character. Finding groups at certain hours of the day, definitely rough, especially for NA people. It's very difficult to find a group. Getting raids done for NA times is very, very difficult. You would probably have to be the leader to try and get something going. It sucks a lot. That's probably the only thing I'm worried about, is the way my schedule is getting raids done. Not a lot of raids happen at the hours that I play unless I get up early. So it's like, or either I get up early or I stay up really late. That's the only way it works for me. Still, like in any MMO game, healers and tanks are always the hardest to fill. But it just shows more on servers that have a little bit of a lower population than preferred.
I don't really need it, to be honest.
From what I've gathered, when it comes to, you know, population-wise for the server, it averages out to from about 150
It's kind of going to be a little bit of a
to maybe 550 players.
Skill in their one-hander,
So it jumps depending on hours. The weekends are honestly the best times for the server. The realm, it's the best time for Netherwing. But during the week, it kind of stays from 100 to 300 players. It jumps up to 500 plus on weekends. The server definitely feels more alive when you're at level 70, though. When you're leveling up, unless you're specifically trying to level up with someone, you won't really run into people. 70 is definitely where it shines here. Like, I've obviously had the most player interaction with anyone until I hit 70. Or honestly, until I hit Outlands. Until I hit Outlands, 60 to 70, that was the best time I ever had playing with people on this realm.
not bad. Better than what I have.
Community vibe isn't terrible either. You know, it's just like any other World of Warcraft private server, honestly. There's no real difference other than, you know, the select few people who still comment here and there, oh, the server's dead, or, you know, the realm's dead, Netherwing's dead. I mean, they're usually just saying it because they could be talking about, like, just in the moment, like right now it's dead. But there are definitely some people who they're saying it to mean more than that, like the realm's gonna die. So, you know, no one can really say what's gonna happen. Either way, the best way I can compare it to is that it was around the same population pre-Excalibur before they shut down. Excalibur was kind of sitting at a consistent 400 players. So player-wise, this isn't really like I'm used to this amount of players in a server like a realm. I actually prefer realms that have less people, but I don't mind a realm that has thousands of players either. It's just, you know, it's just sometimes it's harder to do certain things when there's a lot of players because everyone's trying to do heroics, they're farming, they're grinding, they're gold grinding, so they're node grinding, doing professions. They're, you know, farming quests, and there's just a lot going on. It can be a little overwhelming. But I would say a good solid player base for TBC servers is from like 1,000 to 2,000 players. That I feel like 1,000 players is like perfect. Maybe like 1,500. That's like perfect player base. And I'm sure, I think Netherwing probably had that amount of people at the beginning. But, you know, fast forward 11 months later, you know, it's significantly dropped. That's kind of expected. Most realms do once everything starts to get cleared and people get their experience in, so. Badges, I think something had changed in the realm. A certain phase had changed. So getting badges from heroic bosses were increased to 2, depending on what boss you kill and where you're at. Like, you usually get 2 badges, so gearing up can definitely be the way to go for heroic grinding. Heroic grinding was always the way to go, but because it's post Sunwell and the vendor, and then you have the Sunwell Plateau vendor, definitely grinding badges is probably the best way you can gear up and get ready for tier 6 raids. You need to grind heroics. A lot of people overlook this. They think that if they just get quests, do normals, that they can just go from bottom to top, tier 4, tier 5, tier 5.5, tier 6, and then tier 6.5. That you don't do it like that unless you're deliberately trying to be a progressive guild. There are definitely guilds who do that, but not all the time. And not every guild wants to be a progressive guild. They just wanna. And when I mean progression is I mean everyone's kind of around the same equal guild. They're clearing the runs. People are getting geared up and they move on to the next tier. I saw some of those guilds and they existed in Excalibur. I really like those guilds. It really makes you feel like that you're kind of grinding again, even though all the content's already out. You're kind of earning your way up. It's actually a really fun feeling for people who want to have that hardcore, from the bottom now we're here kind of feeling. Like I like that feeling when trying to quest or trying to raid and stuff. It seems like my guild, they want to raid tier 4. That's what we're at. That's where we're at right now. No one's trying to skip anything. People are just trying to get gear where they can get it. And that's honestly everybody. Everybody that hasn't already done T6. Any new players, that's kind of where things are at. But Holy Paladin definitely feels like the right spec for me. I love healing as a Holy Paladin. It's fun. You have to be very focused, very prepared. People love Holy Paladins, and I love, making everyone's lives easier because every guild, every raid, pug run, guild runs, any raid run, any instance run, Paladins in general are needed, but Holy Paladins are just like the icing on the cake. You need a Holy Paladin. They're important. They're like a lesser version of a priest, but yet they're the best single target healers
really
ever.
Good for me though, as a paladin, getting the lower city
Paladins are
ranks,
also really fun to get gear for off spec because there's a lot of gear that's good for retribution, prot, that other people kind of don't really need. So no gear ever really goes to waste. Nothing goes to the vendor. If there's gear that drops and maybe no one needs it, but you're like, oh, this is good gear for Retribution Paladin. There you go. So none of the gear that drops feels like a complete waste when you play as a Paladin. People appreciate having a healer, an active healer in the server, because getting active experienced healers is very difficult. Because you can have healers, but if they're bad, that's not gonna make your life any easier when trying to run a dungeon or raid. Overall, yeah, I'm pretty confident now. From this video, you'll see in my next how confident I've been going into heroics. I mean, my normal runnings was fun. I was helping out some guild mates. A lot of my runs were kind of a cross between guild mates and regular random players around the world.
You have to he puts everyone in a madness, and you have to I don't know. You got to stay away from me, basically. Oh. I don't know when though. I might have to stay.
These runs were less about individual dungeons and more about getting a feel for the server and how Holy Paladin actually plays at 70.
It's using up all my mana, bro. Just spamming all my stuff, bro. That's crazy. I didn't know he did that. Like that. I didn't know he would make you spam your abilities. We got him though.
I definitely want to continue playing on this realm.
I don't even know what he drops.
I had mentioned it in a previous video, but still I'm very
I'll just have to
disappointed that I didn't hop on this train early. Kind of here late, population's lower. You know, there's less things going on than there were probably 5 months ago. So it's just like
is really bad.
I wish that I could have experienced that here, but I'm kind of getting the leftovers now. And I one concern I have is really just TBC Classic re-release. I'm worried about official kind of making the server even less active than the most active it is now. I'm really worried about it. I don't really want to go to TBC official. You know, I spent, even though it was fast, I still spent, you know, a good couple weeks trying to play on this realm and server, and, you know, make these videos and spend my time here. Like I want to at least finish it or get to T6 before I even decide to start to divulge. You know, when I'm focused on a project, I try to stick to it till the end. I would feel weird to then leave and then start just doing TBC all over again in official. I just think that's weird for me. I'm not too interested in paying for an experience that I got to experience for free with a bunch of people who are equally as passionate about this game as I am. So I'm staying hopeful for the server and where things are at. I am looking forward to getting more gear. Had received a decent bit of gear, you know, going through the normals, and I got pretty much heroic ready, you know, during this time playing very quickly. You know, it was during the week of Christmas. After Christmas was over, I kind of just I had like 5 days off in a row, so I just spent that time grinding, doing normals, doing rep grinds, trying to get some gold, you know, trying to go for my epic and flying. Still haven't gotten my flying yet, by the way. Still trying to, you know, work out my, you know, my jewel crafting, because I got my jewel crafting to max. Trying to sort out any possible enchants down the road. So there's a lot happening. There's a lot of catching up I have to do, but it's getting way easier. Things are they're starting to ease up for me. I'm getting more comfortable here in the realm. I'm starting to establish myself. So yeah, it's been really fun. I hope that, you know, people, you know, more people keep coming to the realm and they, you know, make accounts. You know, we need more people here. And for real, this is really the only TBC server that is actually active, especially during the, you know, TBC re-release. Like, this still is the only active server right now. The other ones are either dead, have significantly less population than this one does. It's a polished, well-manned server with very competent staff members and developers. It's one of the best that really cares about player experience and welcomes new players as well. So I'm having a lot of fun coming back to Stormforge, just in general. I mean, I don't even know what my old account is. I have an idea, but I don't even think it exists. And it was on Outlands. I think I either had a Paladin or I had a Rogue. Can't remember, because I'm talking about stuff that was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I don't even know if it's possible to recover something that old. Probably not, if I had to guess. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you keep following me on my journey here on this realm, and you know, gearing up. And I'm hoping one day I can get to my raids, because I really want to record some raids, man. I really do. Raids are going to be so fun. I just can't wait. But yeah, until next time.
All right, this is the big fight here. Oh no. I'm scared, bro. Murmur is scary. Murmur is scary. I think we can do it though. It's gonna be hard on. This is a really hard fight for this is extremely hard for Holy Paladins. Very, very hard. I'm silenced, bro. Come on, 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 come on.
I can't cast that yet.
Oh, it's too late now. Oh my god. This is scary. This is very scary. I think we got it though. Hey.
Quest complete.